Hi and welcome to BioTalk by IB Girls, and this time we're going to talk about the functions of life. So let's just get started. Okay, so the functions of life are things that all organisms must do in order to stay alive. So some organisms consist of only one cell. This cell therefore has to carry out all the functions of life, and they are known as unicellular organisms. And they are much more complex than multicellular organisms, and I'm going to talk about that much more in my next video. But for now, I'm just going to focus on the functions of life. So as we go to my next slide, so what are these functions of life? Well, they're a little different if you think about it that way in terms of biology high level and IB, because the one you know from elementary school is called Mrs. Gren, which is movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excretion, and nutrition. But the one in the book for the new syllabus in IB biology high level is a little different. It has metabolism, response, growth, reproduction, excretion, nutrition, and homeostasis. And the thing that caught my attention most was the homeostasis and sensitivity, because they're two different things. Sensitivity is how the cell responds to the surroundings, and homeostasis um, is keeping the conditions inside the organisms within tolerable limits. And for now, I think it's best that you guys follow by this one, because this is the one that's in the book. Whatever's in the book is the best one. I figured it out. So I tried to make one, what do you call that? Word so you can remember that is like this one. So this is Mrs. This is Mr. This is one is going to be a little different to remember because you don't really pronounce the H, but it's something like Mr. Gren. I can't even pronounce the H, but I'm going to remember it by that, so it's going to be like a married couple, some sort of things like that, yeah. I know it's crazy, but I try my best to make you guys remember. Okay, so let's start by talking about oh yeah, sorry, the audio just cut out randomly. Let's talk about what these 7 functions of life are. So we start by metabolism. Metabolism is the chemical reactions that happen inside the cell, including the cell respiration, in order to release energy. Yes, we got that going. Response, the ability to react to changes in the environment. Now, this is alike sensitivity, but it's not really the same. But it could be. If we have to draw like an analogy, then they would be pretty similar. Growth is of course, the increase in size, like how it varies and all that. Reproduction is of course, the producing offspring, either sexually or asexually. And excretion is getting rid of the waste products from the metabolism. As we talked in a previous video with the surface area to volume ratio, how the waste products go in and out and what effect it has, surface area to volume ratio, in terms of the cell size. And then we have, where are we at? Oh, nutrition, of course, the obtaining food and to provide energy and the materials needed for growth. And homeostasis is it was keeping the conditions inside the organisms within the tolerable I can't pronounce that word, tolerable limits. Yeah. And as I explain what these are, you will notice that they're pretty similar to the Mrs. Gren thing, except that the movement is of course, unicellular organisms also, they have a method of movement, but some remain in a fixed position or merely drift in water or air currents. That's the only little difference. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same, but it's best if you remember this one. This one you might already remember it. Okay, so we have covered what these 7 functions of life are, and now you may ask, okay, where do we find them? And can we see an example of where we can find them? And yes, you may. I have a paramecium here that is unicellular, and it carries out all 7 functions of life. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I am going to talk about this in much more detailed version next time in my next video. So yeah, thank you for joining me this time, and see you next time. Bye!